Hi, my name is Kathleen. Last year I was living in Sydney, working full-time as a registered psychologist. This year I've moved cities to study my clinical masters full-time. Studying psychology takes a lot of grit. It's a long journey and a competitive one. Often it feels never-ending. There have been so many days where I have questioned, is all of this study worth it?
Kind of random, but this week for work I'm back in Sydney and I thought it would be interesting to discuss what it's like studying full-time while also managing a part-time job. I'll get into that soon, but right now I've got to get to the office.
When I got to the other side, when I got to start working in the field, I kind of discovered it was work that I truly loved.
Today's been such a busy day. It was a half day, so I started off with some study and then I came into the office midday to do my afternoon clients and I did 3 sessions. So I've just packed everything up and I'm about to leave. The thing that's tricky about working as a therapist is that when you have to take a step back from your job, it does impact people and you have to give people a lot of heads up because the work that you're doing is so personal and it directly impacts people's lives. So I was working full-time, now I'm studying full-time and I'm working part-time, and I'm going to show you. So this is what my new week schedule looks like. On Wednesday, I've got uni classes, and then on Thursday, Friday, I've got the clinic. Monday, Tuesday are like my days off. They're not really days off, they're days where we need to study and keep up with all the work that they give us outside of class. You've also got to balance that with a livelihood. I need some kind of income to get by. So the job that I used to work full-time at, I am now doing part-time. It's a job where I'm providing short-term counseling to people. I played around with the idea of potentially working on Monday and Tuesday and doing uni work in the evenings or on the weekends. I quickly realized that's a terrible idea and that would burn me out. But it's tricky taking a step back from a full-time client load, so I've been easing it back. I've been working Monday afternoons, Tuesday mornings, Tuesday afternoons. And I discovered this just is not sustainable. Instead, my plan is to just stick to working on Tuesday. So I'll talk more about that as we progress through the week. But for now, I'm getting out of this office. Tuesday morning, just had breakfast, now heading into the office. I've set up my desk, I've set up my notes, full day of therapy. Let's get into it. I haven't really had a lot of time to update you on everything that's going on. I had 3 clients this morning, I've got 3 clients this afternoon, so it's just a really busy full day, but I'm using my lunch break to run a bunch of errands that I can only do in Sydney, so I'm just gonna basically get stuff done. It's now 6:30 p.m. and we're just on the train heading back.
Feel like a stone in a well. No one can find me here. Pretending it's not at all, and so I can just stay in here.
Today's Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday. I got a lot of reading done on the train yesterday, which was good. And so this isn't really like a normal week in my life. Starting next week, I'll just be working 1 day full-time, which I think is gonna make the world of difference. Anyway, today we have the adult psychopathology course, so I'm heading to the classroom now.
You left me alone. No words, goodbyes, just drones. And you'll be moving on. No scars, no tears, just bones.
I really want
enter stage left. Putting down the bag and relaxing for She's opening her bag. I'm gonna keep doing it. It's funny.
I think I should leave this in the vlog. I should start including bloopers. This morning we focused on dissociation disorders and also schizophrenia related disorders. And now we're going into the afternoon eating disorders. I'm just trying to stay focused and absorb everything. I'm so tired. I'm really struggling in this last class, so I've come to grab some sustenance. Just got out of class, somehow made it through the rest of the afternoon. Perked up a bit because I'm going to treat myself by going into the city to pick something up. This is my outfit of the day. I'm wearing my first blue psychology dress. So I didn't really get round to filming anything today because Thursday and Friday I'm at the clinic and I can't really film anything on campus because all the stuff that we're doing is very confidential and private. But also the trip to Sydney just left me feeling a bit burnt out, so it's been hard to put the creativity that I've wanted to in this week's vlog. So to rectify this, to give Thursday a bit more personality, I thought it'd be fun to do a bit of Q&A, and it also allows me to kind of get into answering some questions that people left on the last vlog. It's a good time for me to mention too that I get people reaching out and asking about what studying psychology is like and asking questions on a regular basis. And if I had more time in my life, I'd want to really answer them and get into them. I'm just kind of struggling to find the balance, and that's something I'm figuring out. And I think I've got a solution. I'm going to share more about that later on too. But for now, I'm just going to use this vlog as a bit of a Q&A platform as well. Okay, so my last video, this one's from Brad Smith 175. I've been using Obsidian in a similar way. I don't actually know what Obsidian is. I'll have to look that up. Very cool to see your Notion in action. Love Notion. Love Notion. Best app ever for all student related / organizational things. First year grad dip in Melbourne here. Nice. Yeah, I love it when people come into psychology from a different background. I think that kind of adds a richness into this discipline that we need. I think if you're looking to do a career change into psychology and you're feeling a bit worried that you're too old or that it's too much of a pivot, I kind of feel like it's the people that have that backstory that have gone off and done something super unrelated to psychology that just brings so much into this field. So I don't think you should let that scare you. Okay, next question is from Islam Sabina 7165. Hi Kathleen, I am curious to know your mom is retiring from psychology at what age? My mom is in her mid-60s and she retired for personal reasons, which I'm not going to go into. Asking this question to have an understanding of psychology professional career span. I think this is a great question. Yeah, look, it really varies. I've known psychologists to continue practicing into kind of their 70s, even early 80s, and in one case with a woman that I met. It's one of those things where I can't give a clear-cut answer. Like it's a spectrum. And I think it really depends on the population that you're working with and what you're doing. But I think the cool thing about psychology is there's a lot of scope to do this work long term. It's not a typical 9-to-5 job. Like you might just work with a few clients as you get into later life stages, or you might do things that are not direct client work but more related to research or helping train people or supervising psychologists, things like that. So the really cool thing about having a career in psychology is it's so diverse and flexible. Okay, last question for this video. This is from Sarah's 4391. Hi Kathleen, would be great to hear how you adapted your lifestyle to make this study possible. For example, with employment, were you able to stay with the same place? Did you have to change to casual work? Enjoying the videos. I'm really glad you're enjoying the videos. I'm loving doing this vlog series. This question is so great because it ties into the theme of this week's vlog. And I'm very lucky because my work was so flexible with me and they've let me drop down to now 1 day a week. So having a bit of money coming through while studying full-time obviously helps a lot. Other things that help too is just having a lot of support in my life. I have an amazing support network and I just don't think I could do half the things that I get done without the support in my life. To finish up, if we come back to the question that this vlog is sort of addressing, if you're studying full-time as a student, how much realistically can you work a part-time job? You can't generalize with these things, and you have to keep in mind as well that my job, my part-time job, is also related to what I'm studying. So it's a lot harder for me to do more than 1 day a week, and I have to be very, very careful about not burning out. For some people, there is no choice and they have to work really, really hard to support themselves while studying. I was in that boat during my undergrad. Looking back, the one thing I really, really wish I had back then was freedom to not have to work so hard at a job outside of the thing that I was studying, and more time to invest in kind of like my hobbies and my interests and taking really good care of myself, creating things and learning things and going deep with things. I wish I had more of that time and headspace when I was young and in my 20s. I think during my undergrad, for the first year, I was working 3 part-time jobs to support myself. So yeah, it's not always easy. And I guess to that end, the other thing that's really helped me with going back to full-time study is stepping out of it for a while and being able to save up an income and plan for this move and be very strategic with it. I really, really hope that helps. It's a lot to consider and it is very, very individual and there's so many variables to consider and to think about. But I was scared to go into a master's course. I was kind of scared to go back into full-time study and give up my job, and to be honest, it's just been such an incredible program. I'm really enjoying it and I'm no regrets. I'm learning so much and I'm having a really, really good time. I'll leave it there for now. Oh, also, I will talk more about this very soon. I've been working hard all morning and I've just come out for a bit of fresh air and for my lunch break, and I've decided I'm going to show you where I'm at with my DSM deep dive, which are the required readings for our 2 courses that we're doing. We're just going through all the disorders for adults and for kids, so as a result we have to read a lot of the DSM. So this is where I'm at with it. Where there's a colour, it means I feel happy with all my notes. Where there's not a colour, it means that I haven't taken the notes yet, or I still need to add a bit more because we're reading multiple textbooks. We're reading the DSM-5 and we're reading this other textbook by Craig Head, the psychopathology textbook. I'm also using the DSM-5 made easy, and it's a great book because it goes through like a case. So Molly McConaughey, hypothetical client, has delusional disorder, so it shows me what delusional disorder looks like in her and how the diagnoser reached this conclusion. So it's super, super helpful in understanding what these disorders look like. So the system is working pretty well for me. Obviously, I've still got a lot of reading to do. There's a lot that's uncolored. The point isn't to be perfect. The point is to just try and read a bit each day. I guess ultimately the point is just to get a better sense of if a client presents with XYZ, I have some ideas of what that could link to. Anyway, I'm gonna put my laptop away and actually take a bit more of a break. I'm probably gonna go on a little power walk and then get into the afternoon work. I just realized that I forgot to sign off. I've just left the building, heading home now. What a week. I'm so glad that it's done. Time to just kind of relax and unwind. Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.